when we talk about quality, and you can talk about it from a choreography perspective. So how do we what sort of things are you seeing that have improved from the past? And then maybe if there are other things other than dance that, allow us to identify whether we're looking at a quality production or not.
It still depends on the audience perspective.
Okay.
Or the director's perspective, or even the art's perspective. Like,
okay,
if you're really doing it for show, then go for it. I mean, people will wow for it.
Okay.
There's also, like now, during quarantine, if you're really trying to help, diba? It's like fundraising.
Okay.
It depends on the objective of the show. That's how I see if it's a good show or a bad show. Because sometimes people do shows na parang, okay, it's nice, but deep inside, patay na yung mga actors. I mean, kumbaga sabi nga ni Coleen, pigang-piga na kami. Wala na po kami may ibibigay sa inyo. Hanggang doon na lang po tayo. So that's how you can see if it's balance, if going back to balance, if the audience like it, the director likes it, the money is there, that's a good show. People applaud for it. That's a really good show. But if somewhere in between there's like very, very low compensation, or like audience is high, credits to the audience but to the actors, talagang balance lang siya to be good, diba? In order for in your life naman, kailangan everything's balanced so you can live a long life, diba? So same din with art. Art is life, art is work.
Yeah. So
yes.
So like you're saying, so really it comes down to the overall experience, right? Parang everything from the direction, the people you're with, and that's what's gonna help you determine like whether you've had a quality show, and everything else after that, it seems like.
Sorry, may isang sample lang ako.
Go ahead.
I know this one show, best in publication. Ganda yan. The new, ganyan. New musical, ganyan. No audience.
Wala.
No audience. Super hype, but no audience. The actors are stressed. Diba? And then, let's not go into details. Because we might... Oops.
So really, like, okay, so let's say, like you said, you can have the audience there, and then you have a great experience for everybody. And even if the choreography, maybe in your eyes, it's just like nothing new, ganon. At the end of it, it's subjective, right? And it's really just like the overall experience that everybody's having. And
even in choreography, sorry, nakalimutan yung choreography side. Even in choreography, kasi even if you have good choreography, but if the actors or dancers are crappy, it's bad.
Yeah, true.
You can say that. Like, people are saying, because there's an excuse. Like, there's an article that came out that actors tend to say, are you a dancer? They will not say, I'm a dancer, but I'm a mover.
Wow.
True naman.
Of course, people can move. Diba? I believe naman people are dancers. The minute you wake up, you're already doing actions already. That's already dance. But there's technicality aspect, because you're building in theater. You're doing what's normal in an abnormal state. Yet, so I'd be like, how do you wake up in the theater abnormally but looking normal? You can't be like, when you wake up in the morning, but you're like, Mommy, where's my breakfast? You don't do that naman, diba? In real life, diba?
Well, I was gonna ask, do you find yourself, like, for both of you guys, do you find like your little habits that you've developed into theater, like, just come into like everyday life bigla? I mean, well, see Coleen, she's in general very like out, you know what I mean? Like a lot of energy. So does that happen often for you guys? Na parang medyo nag-theater ako dun ah.
Well, more on dancer eh. Like,
okay.
More on parang feeling ko, ba't ako gumaganto pag nagsasalita ako? Like, ganun. Ba't kailangan yung actions ko? Kailangan. Ganon. Mas dancer eh. But ganun, like mga friends ko din na dancers. And like, pag theater naman, very, alam mo yun, very, merong posture na give na give. Yeah. And like parang same siya with TVC din. Like parang very, alam mo yung parang commercial, like yung mga ganap.
Just to jump off of that, kasi parang in terms of dance, I kind of relate. Like sometimes I'm in the middle of like a meeting before like business meeting, and they would say that every time I'm talking, parang it looks like I'm dancing kasi I do this and all of that. So what I want to ask is it normal to encounter theater people who, let's say, like you meet them in person in everyday life and they're just like sax lang, parang chill, very like reserved. And then when theater mode is on, they're like, "What?" And how often is this kind of person, and how often is like the, so you have the switch on, switch off person, and then you have the person na, ganun talaga siya. It's no wonder kaya talaga sila nagpumasok sa theater. Jim, maybe you have some insight on that.
It depends on the financial status. If the actors or like those people who are there already, they'll be like, in their normal state, they'll be like, chill. But if it's like we need to work for it. Like
for
if
that
you're like
status.
us, like Coleen, when she did a campaign in Kumu, she needs to have the energy all the time for 15 days because you need to get those points for you to win that campaign.
Yeah,
and
true.
Going back to that, it's more of like, it's the energy. You meet those kinds of people in theater. Like if you're theater people, you're loud.
Right.
But if it's show, because we learn each other's character.
Yeah.
It's weird though. It goes back to like TVC also. It goes back to dancing. If you know the character, you can tone it down, or it's nice because you live a life that's not yours.
Wow.
Yun eh. So even if I'm not a dancer, but my role is a dancer, I need to be a dancer.
Yeah.
Kumbaga, it's not even fake it till you make it. You need to make it. That's the gawin mo.
And that's so interesting kasi parang I didn't expect that answer you had. I thought it was just like, I thought the answer was going to be like, oh, it depends, depending on sino kasama mo. But the fact that it's a reality where it could be a status thing, that the longer you've been, the more of a name that you've built up, you can sort of relax and let your reputation sort of carry you and say, you don't have to show up like that all the time kasi nga they know that you'll deliver. Whereas if you're brand new to it, you're going to have to show them na I'm ready whenever I need that lead part, That's really cool. Really, I don't know, but really cool insight there.